Hi guys, I'm James from 56 North in Edinburgh. What makes a great gin and tonic? It's a very difficult thing for me to give a direct answer. It's a combination of interesting Scottish gins, great mixers, ice that I've got in front of me, garnishes, fruits, and how they all come together to make a drink. Is there an exact answer to the question? I don't believe there is. What I do believe is that there's good drinks and bad drinks, but it's a very personal thing. What's a good drink for me may not always be a great drink for yourself, but the key thing with it is that we follow a few fundamental rules. Firstly, in the case of today, we're looking at Scottish gins, good quality Scottish gin. That's our base, this is what we build from. The second side of that coin is our mixers. Now, mixers, they're 3/4, 2/3 of your drink, and they're arguably often the most overlooked element of a good gin and tonic. You can take the very best Scottish gin and use poor mixer and end up with a poor gin and tonic. You can take an average gin, maybe not a Scottish one, add a brilliant mixer, you'll end up with a nice gin and tonic. It's a one-way equation. We want to make the best thing we can. Next question, I suppose, is what do we put our gin and tonic in? Well, traditionally it's always been one of these guys, a nice tall glass. What you're seeing a lot more now is these guys, the Spanish goblets, the coppers. Personally, I love the coppers. I think they're a lovely way to serve, but either or. I quite often refer to this as our British serve and our Spanish serve, but however you guys want to approach it, if you can't lay your hands on these, and a large wine glass does an equally good job. Next thing is ice. Now, this is arguably the most important element. It's the hardest bit for you guys to do at home, but this is what makes a great gin and tonic, is ice. If we add nice, big, fresh ice cubes to that, we've got a lovely looking glass, and it's all about dilution. If you're making a gin and tonic, you don't want water. And ice, as it melts, will add water to your drink. So we want lots of ice so it stays cold. It doesn't melt quickly and go horrible. So I'm going to ice both these up. Next step of this is gins. Well, Tanqueray 10's to hand. It's a lovely Scottish gin. I'm going to pick it up. Next thing we're going to do is add a wee bit to it. Now, these are big glasses. There's no way around it. So I'm going to add a big double measure. And our tall glass is slightly smaller, so we'll just do a single. As a start, we've got a beautiful base there. We've got gin, we've got lots of ice, we've got a lovely looking drink, but we're missing a couple of key elements. One is garnish, the other's mixer. Mixer, for me, we've got several options. Schweppes is our standard, I suppose. It's the one that the supermarket brands try and replicate. It's the one you'll see in almost every bar. Fentimans, it's a tad harder to lay your hands on, and it's a bit more of a polarizing product, but I love it. It's got a bit more botanical bite to it. It's a bit more of a chunky product, and as such the flavors are really interesting. And then lastly, we've got the Fevertree range, and I've put all three down. We've got the standard tonic, we've got the Mediterranean tonic, and lastly the elderflower tonic. They're all very nice. The Fevertree regular one does a really good job of pulling out the botanical notes, and particularly citrusy gins like Tanqueray 10. I'm going to do two slightly different serves for you here. The first one, we're going to stick to the British serve first. I've got a lovely wedge of pink grapefruit. It's one of the key botanicals used in making Tanqueray 10, so let's do it. It looks beautiful. One thing for me is always, if I open my tonic, I never serve my tonic in the gin and tonic. I always put the tonic on the side. Why? No other reason than it's a very much a guess thing. It comes back to what's personal. I might want to add no tonic, try the gin neat. I might want to add a little bit of tonic. It's very much up to you. I don't think there's a right answer. Some people like it very strong, some people like it very weak. My only input would be you want to taste the gin, the tonic and the garnish. So get all three elements pulling together. There's no point just tasting the tonic or just tasting the gin. You want a bit of everything. So that's our traditional gin and tonic serve with a wedge of pink grapefruit and Tanqueray Number 10. I'm going to do another one with this, but rather than using our grapefruit, I've got a wee twist of grapefruit peel. We can always do this. It's a great way to be able to eat your grapefruit the following morning for breakfast, but also just add a little bit of a peel over it. What does that do? It provides some oilier notes. I'm then going to go for the Mediterranean tonic just because it's a Spanish serve. Why not? And again, I'm just going to put that on the side. Two very different gin and tonics, but inherently we've got the same gin there. But we've got two different garnishes, two different tonics. So our one bottle of gin has provided us two very different serves. And it's one thing I would say about all our Scottish gin friends, is that they respond beautifully well to being adventurous with them. Trying different serves, try different garnishes, try different ways of approaching even the same garnish. And then tonics and mixers in general, the sky's the limit. Feel free to do as you see fit.